Welcome to the show, everybody. This is Real Resilience Talk. This is going to be episode 86. They thought we even couldn't do one, and now we got 86. Ha ha, ha ha ha. Hey, as always, I am brought to you and inspired and sponsored by the First Amendment, and that's alone. This show will never be monetized. This show is real, and that's why we get honest about these subjects that we need to talk about. Please understand that no one on here is a doctor or a lawyer or anything of the sort. We are just individuals, in this case, card-carrying Americans using our First Amendment, hopefully for good. So that said, y'all have heard my rants. Y'all have heard everything I got to say. This is Real Resilience Talk 86 today, and I am joined by somebody I admire, I respect, and my entire family is grateful for. This is the one and only Coach Curry. And this man is a devil doc. He is a father. He is a husband. He is a warrior. And he's coached all over the world. And he uses that as a platform to really sow good values and work ethic and just being a good human, because that's what he is. So welcome to the show, my friend.
I appreciate it.
I appreciate you, man. I'm good. Sunshine and no one shooting.
Yes, sir.
That's a gauge for a good day, man.
Yes, sir. No complaints there.
Good, man. Yeah. This is an amazing human. And if you're already listening so far, just keep listening, because I'm telling you, amazing human y'all got to listen to. And it's easy, like I said yesterday on the other episode, it's easy to talk about resilience. It's easy to talk about service. It's another thing to live it. And this man, his bride, his family are serving and impacting others on a daily basis. And all I can say is thank you.
Thank you.
Sincerely. I'll probably say it again because, before Kanye, went off the range a little bit with some stuff, he did have a song called Big Brother. And in there he said, if you admire someone, you should go ahead and tell them, because people never get their flowers while they can still smell them. And that's why I'm saying what I say.
I appreciate you.
Because there's so many people I wish I could say things to today, and I can't. So I say that to everyone out there. If there's a little bit of gratitude in you, just lingering around, just floating around, don't be afraid to say that and express that to somebody, because people sometimes need that. We was talking before the show about how you expressed it recently to somebody and that impact, and you just never know the ripple effect. So, All right, first camera rant done. Brother, I always ask everybody on this show, what's their background, other than what I alluded to in 3 minutes, but also what is resilience to you?
I guess starting off with background, I like to think of myself no different from the next person.
Yeah.
I'm a husband, a father, a servant, a man of God, a brother, a friend. Unfortunately, maybe somebody's enemy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But I just try to be well-rounded. And resiliency to me is honestly just getting up every day, just knowing that today might be the day that I could win. Whether that be physically, spiritually, emotionally, monetarily.
Yeah.
Today might be the day, like, everything does what we've been working hard for. So I got to get up.
Yeah. Got to.
Why wouldn't I get up?
Yeah.
Yeah. All it takes is once.
It's true. Just choosing to get up and keep moving. Yeah, it is. And sometimes, like, I had a guest on here, shout out Monica Daly. She said it's just sometimes, she said something to the effect of like doing it tired or just getting out of bed is resilience.
Absolutely.
And sometimes that might be the victory for the day.
Absolutely.
And we got to go through the motions, but we're still moving. We're still flowing. We're still living. And I'm going to make it rhyme, Dwayne White, growing.
Absolutely.
To
your point, you obviously, congratulations on you recently being, retired.
Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
But I try to tell a lot of people who don't understand. I've been 10 years now, and I've been getting up at 5 a.m. for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Ain't been no breaks.
No breaks.
That's resiliency.
That is. It's resiliency defined, man.
Because you know what's going to happen. You know what's going to happen at 06.
It is.
You know where you got to be at.
Yeah. Right time, right place, right gear.
Exactly. So even when you don't want to be there, you got to be there.
Yeah.
But it makes you better. So, yeah. I love it.
No, I do too. And it's worth it. And it's almost, it just came to mind, and it's probably my stream of consciousness, because he's coached both of my children in basketball, and I'm telling you, I had a child. If y'all got a child out there that is timid, that is reserved, that is scared, my oldest, her first game when the buzzer went in and she stepped off the knee and went to the, she was at the scoring table to come out. She cried coming on the court, man. And it was like, wow, like she was just afraid to get in the game. Punk. I'm just playing. I hope she's listening. But eventually, you were her high school basketball coach, and she was a starting point guard.
Yep.
You know, and she, I mean, wasn't the greatest thing. She's not in the WNBA or anything like that. But the amount of confidence that you allowed with the other fellow coaches, of course, and the other players, but that environment and Mrs. Cobb being the principal.
Right.
Oh my God.
Shout out Mrs. Cobb.
Mrs. Cobb.
Shout out Mr. Cobb, Coach
Mr.
Cobb,
Cobb,
too,
yes.
you know?
They were hanging out with KRS-One like 2 weeks ago, by the way. I saw the video. Yeah, he was spitting with KRS-One, dog. It was so cool.
I'm not surprised.
No, I'm not surprised neither. But, you know, that environment that y'all created, and then you focused in on players and what you do and with the resilience. And I know she didn't want to be there. I know she didn't want to be there, but she was made better by going. And not just that, but having someone like you so into her. And then she grew in confidence. And now, you know, she's a United States Marine. You know, that all those little things add up, but it's people like you, bro, that pull the best potential out of people. And you're doing the same thing with my son. You know, he got picked up. He's going to be playing or training with the varsity team this summer.
Absolutely.
You know, that wouldn't happen if you didn't meet with him. Every Saturday, y'all. Every Saturday, this man on his own time takes time away from his family and to do one-on-one sessions. And I'm just so grateful for you. But that's part of resilience, is bringing that out in other people when they don't want to be there. But once they get there, look what can happen. You
Absolutely.
know? And you've done that obviously yourself personally, as you just described. 05, I don't want to go. But it's like going to the gym. Like the hardest part sometimes is putting on your shoes and actually go. Once you're there, you do what you do. But like getting there is like,
absolutely,
life's like that.
Yeah, that to back up to the team at Perry, CC and those girls, they brought something out of me I needed for such a long time. I don't know if I told them this, but if y'all listening, I'll tell y'all now. I really appreciate everything y'all did for me just as much as what y'all think I did for y'all. Because mind you, we were operational during that time.
Yes, we were.
So we were doing all those mule tours. All those times we sleeping out on the field, taking those 22 rides. You know, it was tough, but that was the thing that got me out of bed was those girls, honestly. Like going to work and then knowing that whether I'm in boots and utes or if I'm able to put on some shoes and some shorts, like I get to go, you know, help out the community, like you said, help out the girls. And I saw myself so much in them. And that's pretty much what it is with kids and teens and stuff like that. Like if you knew better, you do better. The old term.
Yes, yeah.
I was them at one point, you know? And I had coaches, I had mentors and stuff like that. But people come and go. All it takes is somebody. No disrespect to anybody's parents. Parents are great, but you know, sometimes with teens, it takes somebody outside of your household to really understand that, like, I'm here for you. You know, I'm pouring into you. I see something in you that you might not see in yourself, or you might see it and you just need a little bit of, you know, push or pull, you know, whichever direction you're going. And I just try to be there for them.
It shows. It shows. And I wanted to highlight this because I've known you for years. We've been in duty stations together just by default. You never know. The Marine Corps, Navy, and the military is a small world. So don't burn bridges with old people money, because you'll see them at the commissary or wherever, right?
That's a fact.
But you know, a lot of times I've done it. I'm guilty, so let me say that first. But we're so busy, we don't have time to do other things. And you have a family. But what I loved, you said I get to do this, you know. And just so y'all know, Devil Doc, that's a Navy corpsman. I call him Devil Doc because Marines, we say Devil Dog. But we have no medical. Maybe because we're slow. I don't know. Maybe because we're stupid. But we don't have a medical. We have our Navy that provides that to us. So this is the Devil Doc right here, you know, FMF, if you know the language and things of that nature, but serves with the Marines and takes care of the Marines. But the thing about it is, you go everywhere they go.
Absolutely.
And it's not just with, you know, let's say Alpha Company. No, you're going with Bravo, Charlie, Delta. Everywhere. Alpha just went with Alpha. You're going with all of them. And you said MEU, Marine Expeditionary Unit, and we were the tip of the spear, the ready group as they called us, and things were getting hot with Korea and different, all the stuff. And they got to be ready to fight tonight. So you got to be ready to fight tonight.
Absolutely.
You know, and to still, as busy as I know you were operationally, because I was there too, but I was just with that one element. And so I did one thing, right?
Yeah.
I put the OG in polk, so don't think I'm some gangster or something. But I was busy. Everyone's so busy, but you're so busy, but you still make time,
Yep.
and you didn't get paid for it.
No.
You didn't. There wasn't like you were chasing some medal or you're going to eventually run for office. And it was
Somebody
just
owe me a check, though.
genuinely, huh?
Just want to put that out there. Somebody owe me the pension. You know how long it took for Perry to win a game?
Oh my God, yeah. The first year was. Oof.
Mhm.
I mean, I didn't watch him every single year. I watched the years my kid played,
Yep.
but yeah,
I think it was like 2-3 years they didn't win a game.
yes.
Somebody, I ain't gonna put no names out there, said if you win or if y'all make it to 500, I'll give you my check.
Hey, somebody who said they put the check on the table because
I just want to, you know what I mean?
those girls won.
Yeah.
They won.
They
I remember
won.
that game, that first game they had won. I remember it vividly. I don't want to be dad bragging, but my kid did pretty good in that game, and the whole team just played as a team. We never seen that before because it's base, it's Dodea, so you get what you get. Like it's just like being in the military. Like all these franchises in sports are great, but they get to pick their players.
Yep.
They get to pick their employees.
Yep.
In the military and in Dodea, you don't really get to pick.
Yeah.
You get what you get, and you don't throw a fit, and you got to win with it.
And that's enough. That's
Yeah.
what I was trying to tell him. That's enough. Like you got to look in the mirror and know that that's enough. What's the saying? It's not the X's and O's. It's the Jimmy and the Joes.
Yeah.
I got Jimmy and I got Joe. I got
Yeah.
Cece.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie. Ain't nobody tougher. I know her parents. Get past her. And if you get past her once, do it again.
She might pass out before she quits.
Fighting
Yeah.
and swinging,
Yeah.
So yeah, I always wanted them to know that those kids, yeah, per base and the amount of kids that they have, naturally there's gonna be somebody taller, faster, whatever.
Always.
You ain't got the heart. If they ain't got the heart, you got
to have that heart.
You ain't got heart, what you got?
And that's resilience.
That's resilience.
Yeah, that's resilience right there, man. Yeah.
I don't want to make this the whole thing about them, but it was such a moment in time. Like that first game, I coached them. We went down to play the #1 school in the region in all of Dodea, and we lost by more than 40.
Woohoo!
And I thought I lost the whole team that day.
Yeah.
Like tears, like real pain.
Yeah.
You know when somebody cries, like that type
ugly
of
cry.
Man, imagine doing that to a group of 10 teenage girls who are in the height of their emotions. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
So I was just like, oof. And I told them I was so harsh. But I was so honest. And I think that's what they needed.
Yes.
And that it was like, why are y'all crying?
Yeah.
I was like, y'all didn't prepare for this.
Ah.
Y'all prepared to lose.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I was here every single day.
Yeah.
In that gym.
Yeah.
Even at the community gym, I said, I was there. I was waiting on y'all. Nobody showed up. So
Yeah.
what you crying for?
Yeah.
It was harsh.
It's real.
But they needed it. And from there, we grew.
Yes.
To the point to where, we had buzzer beaters. We had somebody make the regional team.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We beat the #2 team. First opener next season.
It's crazy, man.
I loved it. And now we got a young Thundercat now. Sean's gonna go crazy.
We're gonna see.
You know
We're
what I
gonna
mean?
see, man.
Keep doing your pull-ups.
You're doing pull-ups, push-ups every night, bro.
You know
You better be
the vibes.
listening right now. It's a PME.
For sure. And that's all it is, just building that confidence, building that to know that I can do anything
Right.
if I prepare for it and if I put myself first. Yeah.
But in leadership in general, number one, you're a wealthy man. Let me say that because I got to quote Jim Carrey like I do. The effect you have on others is the most valuable currency there is. You are very wealthy.
I appreciate that.
Very wealthy in that because you've had an effect on so many kids. I mean, mine, I'm biased. I have my two. But yeah, the amount of effort is taken, the amount of strain is probably put on your own relationships, the time away, but you still do it. And what he said, y'all, was I get to. Like, after all this stuff, I get to go coach and help these people grow. But at the same time, with leadership or anything else, like, you got to tell somebody when they're falling short.
Yeah.
But not only that, you didn't just say, oh, y'all suck. No, I'm still going to be there.
For sure.
I'm still going to be there to work on your game. I'm still going to be there to encourage you. And I'm going to take time, and you did, and met them at the community gym on the base for extra one-on-ones if they would show up. And I'm sure you showed up many times and nobody would there, because we was busy.
Yeah.
You know what I
got
mean?
stood up a couple times, but it's okay.
Yeah, it's cool.
I've been stood up a couple times in my life.
Yeah, but all you can do is be consistent at providing the platform, and
Yep.
you did that.
Yep.
And then that's what the thing is: the consistency and discipline will equal positive results
Mhm.
in all things. But that's where we fall off. Everybody wants to practice before the big game,
Yeah.
but no, it's those days, like you said, when I don't want to get up at 0-5, but I got to,
Right.
and that's that resilience in the moment.
Right.
And we all have the power and freedom to practice that, and we fall short, and I do as well. But
Mhm.
it's people like you, man, that still show up, that still give what they got, and make literally. It sounds. I have a friend of mine. He's the guy who made that song on the intro song, but Pelocino, if y'all want to look him up, but he's a good friend of mine, retired Marine, and he had said one time, it's only cliche because it's true.
Mhm.
You know, so when I sit here and say make the world a better place, it is cliche. It can sound corny if you don't mean it. If you don't mean it, it'll become corny. The speaker will make it corny because you know that they're not about that.
Mhm.
But you do, man. You have and you do make the world a better place, not just with, and I know with your family, and I know in your time of service, 10 years. That's a long time, man. How much has resilience played into that?
The whole time. I'm not somebody who's supposed to be who even envisioned myself being in the military in the first place. So the
Right.
fact that I've made it this far, I'm proud of myself for one. It's been a blessing. Every part that sucked, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah,
You know, I think that's what makes everybody's career the best part of it.
it does, man.
Yeah. We never talk about best of the times. We talk about the worst of
It's true.
times.
And the best two units are always the one you were at or the one you're going to. It's never where you're at.
Exactly. Yeah. How many times like,
Back
man, I
when I was with 210 or back when I was in, okay,
I
what
can't
about
wait
now?
to get out of here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then you be like, man, I miss those I
Oh,
miss
yeah.
those guys. I miss that place.
Oh, so much, man.
Yeah.
Iwakuni, God, that's just one for me. Best overall duty station I ever
Without a
had.
doubt.
But
Without a doubt.
it wasn't the place. We was off by ourselves, but it was the people. But
Yep.
I don't want to shift it all back to Iwakuni, but your whole career, I know resilience has played major parts.
Yeah.
And like you said, you didn't even see yourself joining to begin with, and you do 10 years.
No. Honestly, I was in school. I was in college. I thought I was gonna do the regular thing that most people did.
Is that back home in Atlanta?
Back home in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Went to college. Was a lost college kid. Uh my mom got sick my junior year. Um she ended up getting real sick. She had to stop working. So I dropped out of school. Mind you, you can imagine third year in college dropping out of school is
Hmm.
like, nobody expects that,
Right, right.
but went back home. Was working 3 jobs at one time. I worked at a warehouse, I worked at Lenscrafters, and I worked at American Eagle, and I was just trying to make enough, and we still didn't make enough. Like,
Right.
yeah, we lost the house. Like, we were down. We were really in a tough spot for real. And that's that right there, the beauty in the first question you asked with resilience is like we are more than okay now. We are
Hmm.
beyond blessed. Like my mom is healthy. She's doing everything. She's moving and grooving.
Shout out to your
You
mom.
know what I
Thank you for
mean?
raising a good
Shout out to
human.
mom,
Thank you for raising a good human.
she knows the vibes. She's the homie. Big homie, big OG. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she's doing great. My brother's thriving. He's doing well. But yeah, there was a time where we like all we could do was get up to that
Hmm.
point.
Hmm.
All we had to do was just wake up and get out of bed because there was so many times where we knew what the day was gonna look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We knew that it wasn't gonna be sunshine and rainbows today,
Hmm.
but it might be the day we come up,
It might
you
be.
know? And
Yeah.
eventually we came up. Uh, to that point, I took it upon myself. With resiliency, I thought I failed in life at that point though. To drop out of school, not really having direction for myself, feeling like I was a failure. Obviously, during college, like if you're able to go like and have the traditional college experience, it's one that's going to stand the test of time.
Yeah.
Um, because you are there, you're independent for the first time. You with some of your best friends you make in life. You know, I met my wife in college. She went down to Auburn. I was 2 hours away, but I met my wife in college. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And she stood with me to know that I was a
Yeah.
college dropout, and she still
Yeah. That's
became
love.
my wife in the long run. You know what I mean? So it was like so many mixed emotions. And one day I was like, I felt like I failed, but I need to come out of this. You know what I mean? The rose that grew from the concrete. So,
Yes.
uh, went to the recruiter's office, thought I was joining the Air Force, walked into a Navy recruiter.
Gotcha.
And that's all she wrote. Next thing
Yeah.
you know, I'm on a plane, on a bus, getting yelled at.
Yeah.
And so 10 years of just doing it blind, and it's been awesome.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Just figuring it out on the way.
Figuring out on the way,
Yeah.
you know?
Sometimes that's how we got to do it. Fail forward.
Mm.
I heard a general say that one time that we just got to sometimes fail forward, but it's also the first attempts in learning is fail. But I like what Nelson Mandela had said. He said that I never lose.
Oh yeah.
I never fail. I win or I learn.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully both. And there's something there because you wouldn't have joined. We wouldn't be sitting here had
Right.
that hard time not have happened.
Right.
Or if you had finished college, like all the things you've done and accomplished and the lives you've impacted and the service, man, to sacrifice, I don't care. Any veteran out there listening, thank you for your service.
Absolutely.
And we can't do this compare game. Like I wasn't in Afghanistan. I wasn't in Iwo Jima. I wasn't in Vietnam. Stop it. You signed a blank check with your life and you were willing to give the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't control what MOS sometime, a job, what location, what's the operational tempo, what conflict occurs, but you were willing to do that. And you done it, man. So I know your service is coming to a close because you're moving on to bigger things, but thank you for your service.
I appreciate it. Thank you for yours.
And not just willing to serve the Navy and the Marine Corps, but the community.
Yeah. That's all we got.
Yeah.
I'm not old, but I'm so old fashioned in that to think that we live in a world now to where a lot of times you don't even know your next door neighbor. You know what I mean?
That's the truth. That is the truth.
It sucks to know that. Or like you go to a school or your kids go to a school and you're not really in tune. Like my mom knew all my teachers' first name. They had a number to the point to where I remember a teacher specifically got the graces to whoop me if I was out of turn, and which was pretty often, you know what I mean? So, the community is big. It's like you never know that next person could be the person that you need to.
It's true.
Or that could help you get to where you want to go just off a casual conversation.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes, and being a decent human, and everyone's fighting a battle you know nothing about, so be kind.
True that.
Always.
True that.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Absolutely. Rest in peace, Robin Williams.
Rest in peace, Robin Williams. But it's I think we get so caught up because we're so informed, and I need to be better at this. So let me admit that first. I need to be better at, like you said, knowing the neighbors, knowing the teachers. There could be so much confusion and friction avoided if you just have a casual conversation or are kind with people.
Yeah.
I really think a big problem, it will always be greed and things, but a big problem we have is like conflict resolution sometimes. Just to have a conversation and confront something. Telling your bride that you loved her the first time was a confrontation, but you were willing to confront it because you knew her, right? And so on and so on and so on. But there's something so powerful about, and I've put it in a little book I wrote and things, but Mother Teresa said, not a perfect person either. I've heard some things, okay, let's not cancel everybody in history, but she did a lot of good things, but she said, what can you do to promote world peace? She said, go home and love your family. That's deep.
Facts.
Like go love your sailors, your Marines, your kids, your neighborhood, your community, and you are a testament to that and the positive effects that could come from that. Because you could have just been somebody yelling at the news or somebody just mad and focused on just your own and disconnected, but you're a person that wants to build the community and have that unity and know each other and look out for each other. And that's something we all need to do more of. I think we'd be better off as a society if we did that more.
Can I be candid though?
Oh, please do.
You know how hard it is and I'm not perfect. I love all the compliments and stuff. I know where I fall short in life, and maybe we'll get honest here at this table, but you know how hard it is to give yourself to the world first and then come home and be a good husband.
Yes.
And be a good father.
Yes.
And even be good to yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When they say it's 24 hours in the day, it's like literally all it is 24 hours.
That's it.
And I'm supposed to use 8 of them to get sleep. I'm honestly getting 3.
Right.
But
yeah. And you can only do that for so long.
Right.
Enjoy being young, my friend.
I got the CPAP now. I've been dying.
The Darth Vader mask.
Man, it's uncomfortable. Yeah. It's terrible. But it's that is a part of resilience to where I'm still trying to figure it out, or I'm still trying to balance, when to give myself grace or when to give more to my family. Like every day is gonna be different.
Right.
But yeah, yeah, I'm somebody's father. Been a father for a year now, and it's like she thinks I'm perfect, and I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? She thinks
Yeah.
the world of me, and I have a lot of bad days.
Right.
You know, and then at the same time, I have to love her mother unconditionally for her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? For everybody in the house. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
And for your wife, obviously. Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But like just speaking in terms to my daughter, like she has to know, or she wants to know forever that daddy is home. He's the
Hmm.
protector. You know, he's the lover. He's the teddy bear.
Yeah.
He's my knight in shining armor. And it's like some days I don't feel that at all, you know,
Yes.
and that's very tough. You know what I'm saying? It's very tough.
No, it really is. It
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can relate.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel that pain often. And
Hmm.
I've had a lot of conversations with with my queen,
Yeah.
with my better half, with my life partner,
Yeah.
my wife, my wife, whatever we want to say,
Yep.
about why are you pouring so much into over here?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I needed that advice, or
Hmm.
and it is very, very difficult. My wife says I don't understand this B word that's out there, balance,
Hmm.
and I'm guilty as well. So yes, I do throw a lot of flowers, and I do commend and compliment, because I never want to say or have that like, did I tell them? But on the same note, it is so hard.
It is.
It is so hard and the guilt you can feel, not shame,
Mm.
but guilt you can
Yeah.
feel in that, man, I should have probably showed up more for this. And it's this constant juggling. I think in the end state though, obviously speak for yourself, but I would more rather sometimes be doing this and have that kind of problem sometimes, not to the point where I don't show up for them,
Hmm.
but to have that constant friction
Hmm.
than to isolate. And like I almost feel like for me, and maybe, and the codependency is real and addictions are real. So I have my own things. But when I do show up for others, it makes me show up as a better me for them. But it does take away time
Hmm.
for sure. And it takes away bandwidth. But if I didn't do that, and it's not that this and reaching people is more important than my own, they're two separate camps. But that pours more into me. Like the return on investment, it's not, we always want things to be like, well, you poured 10 ounces into some one person, so you lost 10 ounces. Not true.
Hmm.
Because when you pour, you get more.
Hmm.
And then I'm restored and I can come over here and still be better dad. But I cannot get the time back.
Right.
And that hurts.
Right.
That hurts
To
a
that
lot.
point, like what constitute not even just a good dad, a good man is and nobody has an answer. I had this I got this presented to me to where it's like us as military members, we sacrifice for the betterment of the country,
Hmm.
but we lose sometimes our relationship with our family.
Yes.
Or the same thing could be said to the man that grinds every single day, that is a very wealthy or successful executive,
Hmm.
you know, and he's spending 15 hours at the office.
Hmm.
His wife and kids might have the most beautiful house in the world.
Right.
And it's like you're sacrificing still your time, you
Yes.
know? Or if you give all of them your time, what is being sacrificed on the back end? You know what I mean? There's never a right answer.
Never.
So it's like, what is balance is to each his own,
Teach their own.
you know?
It is.
And that's the part where I think in my young adulthood, I'm still trying to figure out, you know. 33 is still so young. I thought I thought I would just be gray bearded like Sage. Thought I was gonna have long gray locks down my
Maybe in
back.
another time in history, you'd have been the wise man of the camp because everybody died at 35. But
Right.
yeah, in 2026,
A bad cold would get you out of there.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, but it's like I don't have the answers. And I think that what makes it the anxiety driven part of my life. That's what makes it so fun. 'Cause
yeah,
I don't know. You
yes,
know what I'm saying? But we trying.
yes. And I'd rather be trying and maybe falling short than to be doing nothing at all. And, not another perfect person in history, but, that Man in the Arena poem from Theodore Roosevelt is so real, man. Everybody has something to say about the man in the arena, but are they willing to join that man or woman? You know what we're saying,
Right.
and join in the fight for whatever the thing may be, to create community, to create connections, to be there for people, to save lives, hopefully. But another thing in there too is yourself. Right, you said that in there with still having the 8 hours sleep, right, and making time for yourself to check in with yourself, and then to be doing all these things and having these positive effects, and then feel empty at times because the bandwidth and because of the constant porn, even though there's a return. So you hear me, you go, oh my God, he just said this, but now he's saying that. That's how complex this is.
No, seriously.
On any given day, this is how hard it is. But I'd still rather be that person in the arena trying than just being another, critic on the sideline talking ish about, this person could have done this better. And we have enough of that. We can watch any infotainment news and find just critics.
Right.
And it's like, well,
everywhere.
If you don't like it so much,
Do something
Maya Angelou, I quote her all the time. I got her book of poems right over there. But, if you don't like something, change it. If you can't change it, shut it. No, she said change your attitude and change your approach and attack in a different direction. That's a constant in my life.
For sure.
Constant.
For sure.
And sometimes it's me.
Yeah.
How do you work through that? How do you cope with all of that? Because that's a lot of pressure.
I think that's where I'm trying to figure out right now.
Yeah.
I think that I'm not thinking. I like to say I think when I'm trying to be dismissive. I know that that's what I'm struggling with. Well, first things first, I try to recognize it. I've been realizing in my time this season specifically. Before we go, it's crazy how you introduced this opportunity to speak on your podcast when I was going through a season of trying to find out how to be foundationally strong. Kind of going back to my roots in the sense of it. Prayer.
Yeah.
We talked about before the show started, you got to have tools set in place. And for me, it's like, what scriptures can I go through in my time of turmoil, or when I'm having a bad day, to I can spew it out and it's there. And I know that that is to be true. And I can lean into that instead of leaning into my own misunderstanding or lean into myself thinking that it'll be okay. So that's a great question because the answer is I don't know, but I'm working on it.
Yeah. No, that's honest.
To be honest with you.
That's honest. And all of your unselfish heart and service and doing things. One of the things I've always loved and admired in you is how real you are. Like the humility just in, 30 some minutes of saying, yeah, I appreciate it, but I suck and I fall short. And even my baby girl looks at me and says, superhero, knight in shining armor. And I'm like, am I that today? That's humility. Or to say, like most of us are, we're still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like fitfo every day. Figure it out. That's what it is. And yeah, so for you to say what has helped you is, scripture and your faith and prayer. Somebody needed to hear that because they might be searching for something to help them, or they might be like, yeah, that's actually a tool I haven't used in a while, or because it's not knowing. A lot of us know of these things. It's applying. Shout out Bruce Lee. Knowing's not enough. We must apply.
Yes, sir. And returning flowers, you and the people we speak about and the people that we know mutually.
Yes.
And where we receive those things from. I got a funny thing. My mama gonna hate me. She don't know this. I like to use my mom. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm a mama's boy. If it hasn't been put out already, my mama, she's such a gangster. You know what I mean? So when I think can I curse?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when I think I'm about to do some sucker shit, like sometimes this thing is like Vivian would kill me, or Vivian ain't going for that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, or when we think about times, I think about the people in my life, or the last 10 years, the people I've done service with, Cam ain't going for that. Or one of the greatest men I ever met, Sergeant Major Jennings.
Oh my God, shout out.
You know what I'm saying?
Sergeant Major Jennings. Love you, man. Love you.
when you talk about resilience, or you talking about somebody who's stoic, like a dog,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? We don't know what he's going through, but when I look at him, I'm like, oh, he got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Jennings ain't going for that. So
Mhm.
if y'all don't fold, and I know y'all story, how could I fold?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
That's that steel sharp as steel.
Right,
Iron sharp as iron.
right. I gotta get up. I gotta
Yeah.
do it. I gotta do it. Cause somebody's looking at me like I'm the one.
You are.
You
Yes,
know?
you're somebody else's Sergeant Major Jennings, like, for sure. I know you are. There's a kid that lives upstairs. It
I
works
appreciate
at Taco Bell. But
that.
there's so many more,
Yeah,
and yeah, that's a lot to live up to, and
yeah,
some days we suck.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's true. But that's why the community is so impactful.
it
That's why
really
it's
is.
strong.
Yeah,
The community ain't just literally your neighbor, it's the world. It's the climate.
yeah,
Like right now in America, a lot of us going through a lot more problems than what we want to think, but
yeah.
this is our community. We got to lean into each other. So
So what are we doing to make it better, or whatever the thing is around you that may be messed up or whatever? Like, you're not. I used to always try to tell that to, like, talk when I talk with the Marines. Like, you're never gonna be able to fix or influence the whole Marine Corps, the whole
mhm,
Department of Navy, the whole Department of Defense, or the entire. But can you impact your platoon, your squad,
mhm,
your duty station? Because that's where it went. Like, of course, you're impacting. I'll just say, as an example again, Iwakuni. That's what I'm referencing. But you were impacting. I know you were your fellow corpsmen and the Marines that you had direct influence and sphere over. But then it was not just that. It was the whole base. You was impact. You know what I mean? Like that.
mhm.
You can. The reach can go bigger to have a higher proximity of positivity and growth for others if you put in the work.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it. And the work ain't even got to be something. What's funny is I don't look to make the world a better place.
Mhm.
To be quite honest, because I don't want to look at myself as if I'm on this pedestal.
Yeah.
You know
That's
what I
fair. That's
mean?
fair. That's very fair.
I think I'm just trying to do what I feel like is right. If it's in my heart, then I got to do it.
Yeah.
How many times have we anybody? How many times you knew you were compelled to do something, and then when you didn't do it, you felt crazy. You was like,
Oh,
"What?
man.
Why didn't I do that?"
Horrible.
You know what I mean?
Horrible.
So it's
Horrible.
just like, even if it's somebody asking for $1, am I gonna give everybody $1 on the street? No, but if I'm compelled to do it,
Yeah.
I got another dollar. I'm a hustler. I can get $1.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? But
Right.
this might be the dollar they need
Yeah.
to make them have the best day ever.
And next week you might not feel like that in the same situation,
Exactly.
but it's on your heart at this point, or it's placed upon you to
hmm
be like, maybe I could.
God says, I know everybody's not, but God says you have to be a cheerful giver.
Mm.
You know what I mean? No reservations when you give. You just got to give and let go. You know.
Yeah.
Um, Back to basketball. I got a kid in my neighborhood last year. He always used to just shoot shots we live in townhomes, so he just used to shoot shots in the sidewalk and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I asked him what size shoe he wear. He told me what size. I said, when you get taller, let me know. I got some stuff for you. He don't know me from a can of beans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, I walked up to him and his mom, and I was like, "You gotten taller? I see you gotten taller. What size shoe you wear?" He's like a half size from 11. So I told mom, "Is it okay if he comes over here and picks up some stuff?" My basketball career is over. The community rec center was all I needed.
Yeah.
MVP of the rec league.
Yeah. Be crushing it, man. Saturdays. Ooh.
Right.
Well, when the knee ain't acting up.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. One day, one day. But yeah, I gave him a lot of shoes, just a bunch of stuff, and it was like I'm gonna give it to the next kid too, because it's like what it. And don't get me wrong, I don't want to sound, I ain't gonna lie, I'm a black kid from Atlanta. I like shoes. Okay,
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that.
I
It's
kept a
nice to
lot
have
of
stuff, but just don't let stuff have you.
exactly,
Yeah.
and I blessed them. And I got that from one of my old teammates who used to go. He used to go to the city and give all his shoes away to kids and stuff too. Because it's like
Wow.
all we got to do is just get 40.
He
You
didn't give
never
you
know.
shoes though, but he
Was
gave you that inspiration to
yeah,
potentially, yeah, no, and that's that ripple effect. That's the effect you have on others.
right, and that's the community. His
Yes.
community and my community are the same community because we're giving to the same idea, the same theory
Yes.
that, whether they need it or not, we just paying it forward.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree. I agree.
And it was just on my heart to give him some stuff, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it next week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna do it to my nephews. I'm gonna do it to the kids back home in the city.
Yeah. Yeah.
He
No,
don't even know
that's
that, but he don't know. But
man.
I'm a blessed. Like just because it's on my heart to like do what's right.
What do you get out of that though? When you give all this time away, y'all have heard my bias, but as somebody I know, we can say, when you give and receive it, like that's great to hear somebody say that, but I've seen you do that like vividly, like, wow, bro. Like, and it wasn't like you're some high ranking person with a
Mhm.
big, purse or anything like that. What do you get out of that?
A smile.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Yeah.
I just need a smile. That's literally all. There ain't nothing else. Today I did good. You know what I mean?
Mm,
And I can go to sleep knowing that I did good. To this point, when I told you about my mom and me and my brother, we all had to go back home. I made a commitment to myself to say every year is gonna be better than the next.
mm,
And I don't care what that looks like, whether I grow as in my spirit, in my emotional stability,
yeah.
in my pocket, you know, if I can do small things every single day and I reflect on that,
Yeah.
I'm proud. I'm happy. That
Yeah.
makes me happy. So
Yeah.
um I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Whether I'll be a millionaire or a billionaire, I've been blessed and beyond measure
Yeah.
because I've done things and I've seen and I've been able to help people
Yeah.
and people can lean back in this moment here and like this is a good man and that's all I need.
Nah, you are, man. Yeah. And there's certain times you go to I don't really go to them too often, but like funerals and stuff, and everybody's
Hmm.
like, Bill Burr has a bit about it. It's fucking hilarious. Like, he paid his bills on time, man. If he had a bill, he fucking paid that thing, man.
Yeah.
But like, not people's approval or all that stuff, but like when people look back on you, like the legacy echoes, and they mean it when they say, it's a good man.
Hmm.
That's wealth. I
Beyond
mean,
measure.
yeah, like all the stuff and all the accolades and all of that. Like yeah, it's great, it's cool, but it's just stuff.
Yeah.
I always quote him, but when Denzel gave that commencement speech at the University of Pennsylvania in Philly, like he was like, "You'll never see a U-Haul following a hearse."
Never.
And
Never.
all this stuff you accumulate, like, you can't take it anywhere.
Hmm.
The Egyptians tried that and they got
Yeah.
robbed. I stole
Exactly.
that from Denzel, but I listen to that often
Yeah.
because it's nice to have things, but don't let things have you.
Right.
Same with goals.
Right.
Same with goals. We become a slave to it, to
Hmm.
the things. But I do agree with what you're saying, and I've had some mentors because a lot of stuff I do for free, and they're like, "Yo, you need to monetize. You need to do these things because it'll open up to you being able to do more things." And I'm still trying to figure all that out, honestly. But there's something there when you say like, okay, I gain more, they gain more,
Hmm.
and not just in like a just throwing money out the window or anything of that nature, or enabling other people to be a turd because
Hmm.
you're feeding their habit or addiction. But when it's placed in your heart, how do you think you'd feel if you didn't do it? If you didn't do these things when you have those moments, and for you say God placed it in your heart. For other people, you may have a feeling or a stimulation to say, I need to do some good. If you don't do it, how do you feel?
If I don't and when I don't, um, I know it makes me cold.
Mm,
Just as much as I can be gracious, I can be very cold. You know
mhm.
what I mean? Just because I've experienced it
Yeah,
on both sides. I've been cold. I've been treated unfairly, and anything that you do on either side, it builds a habit. It builds a callus. You know what I mean? A scab can be scab is good until you pick it off.
yeah, that's true.
You know
That's
what I
true.
mean?
That's true.
So when I don't do it, like I said, I'm very cognizant of where I am, and now I'm at a point in my life now. I try to lead with a lot of grace. So if I say something cold to the world, or if I say something to somebody outside, I give you a prime example right now. Uh, being tough
Mhm.
in the world. I always try to lie to myself and say I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm a
Yeah,
fighter first. but now I try to be a warrior in the garden. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
be very peaceful, but there are times where I catch myself being very what's the word we're looking for? You know, being very giving in more ways than one. I'm
Hmm.
not out here in the streets fighting, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, sometimes when problems come to my door, I'm not too afraid to look through the peephole,
Yeah.
respond back. Um, but I know what that breeds.
That's
How many
true.
times can you do that before?
Yeah.
You know,
What you say about Billy?
well, Billy Badass. Listen.
This is good. This is good. We saw before the show. We did like a podcast before the podcast.
Yeah.
He was dropping knowledge.
The story about Billy Badass. If you don't know Billy, and everybody knows Billy, everybody thinks they're Billy Badass until Billy comes up to you.
Mm,
And you don't ever want to meet Billy.
that's true.
Billy ain't nobody you want to meet. So I try to be mindful of, Billy right outside this door. Billy could be right in front of me if I don't play my cards right.
That's
You
true.
know what I'm
That's
saying?
true.
It's just like I know how people respond to love, and I know how people respond to hate.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? That same person that is Billy, if you lead with love, you might not ever get that side of Billy. You know what I
Ooh,
mean?
wow, that's powerful, bro.
You might
That's
not never get to see that because Billy is a person too. Billy is a person
yes.
just like you and me going through problems that we don't even know is there,
Wow.
you know?
Yeah.
So it'd be how wrong of me to match that energy from a person that we don't even know might be hurting.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Whether I am or if I'm not, you know. But that's where we are in the world. It's like my problems are bigger than yours, so I get
Oh
to
yeah.
profess or you're gonna endure my pain and stuff. It's like, but on the other side of that coin, it's like I'm going through problems, you going through problems. Let's just approach this a little differently.
Yeah.
Let's see where that takes us.
I think that's to me the definition of what they say meek.
Mhm.
Meek, a lot of words have been weaponized and changed over the years, but the word meek originally meant that I could fuck you up.
Yep.
I could tear you down, but I'm gonna keep this sword and this scabbard, this sheath right here. But just
Mhm.
know I can, but you just don't walk around. And those are the ones
Yep.
who are the leaders that
Yeah.
I could. I'm a dangerous mother. I
Yeah.
will fuck you up. I'll turn into Billy real quick.
Mhm.
However, I'm not going to lead with that,
Mhm.
And I mean, Atlanta. Rest in peace to one of my all-time favorite humans. But I quote him. I wear the shirt. Darkness can't drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate can't drive out hate. Only love can do that.
Fact.
It's powerful.
Fact.
But there's a time and a place.
Yeah.
Ecclesiastes. I mean, the bird song, turn, turn, turn. There's a season for everything. However, I think some of our friction, some of our fights and things of that nature could be avoided if we led more with love and compassion and empathy. And I said, wow, that hits because I'm talking to a friend today who just amazing human. And it was just this morning, we voice memo back and forth because we both got ADHD. So we'll cut each other off. So we can't really talk on the phone or in person too often, but we can do the voice memos and then take notes and reply back. But he was explaining he has somebody in his life early on that was, traumatizing to him, really hurt him.
Mhm.
And that person is in a different place now and they've crossed paths again. And he told him, he's been cordial and kind, but over a few times of seeing this person again, the person has been warm and a different person.
Mhm.
And he's like, honestly, when I first saw him, I didn't care if he'd have put a bullet in his head, if he'd have drank his life away. But now I've engaged with him and he told him a few days ago, he saw him, he said, we need to talk, man. Like we need to talk just man to man and just, I want to see how you doing and et cetera. And I was just blown away because I know the horror stories and I know this stuff, but he's still willing to not be a fool to get hurt again.
Right.
But he's willing to, and what he said was what you said, like Billy's still a human. And he said like about this person I'm talking about, he's like, he's still a human. It was a crazy time for all of us.
Yeah.
And that brought out whatever he did and I suffered that. But the empathy, man, like to have that compassion is powerful. But I said this in my retirement. I told my kids, be kind, be loved, and make the world a better place. But don't be no sucker.
Right. Can't be no sucker.
Because some people will play you and will take advantage of you, and that's their whole motive in life.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's funny we talk about this, and it's like you got to balance to be more human on this. Well, not be human. You can uh being gracious and also being like being aware. You know, street
Yes.
smart.
Yes.
The word it is.
Yes.
I tell a lot of people I'm very kind. I'm not friendly. You know, I am very kind. I'm very meek and humble, a warrior in the garden.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
but
powerful.
that's just the way of the world, unfortunately, and that's been since the beginning of time.
Oh, yeah, ain't
Quite
nothing new.
honestly,
There's just more of us now,
yeah,
and we can film stuff.
exactly, exactly. So it's like, yeah, it's okay to be that.
Mhm.
You know, it's okay. You can live with love and still be a man,
Yeah.
be a woman,
Yeah. Be a warrior.
be a warrior.
Yeah, yeah, for
Like I
sure.
said, the toughest people we know, there ain't no man. I know more tough women than I know tough
I
men.
said that
That's a
yesterday.
fact.
I got my kid's Marine, my wife's Marine. Like,
Facts.
there's some tough. It applies to all humans. There are some tough people in this world, and they
Facts.
come from all shapes, sizes, colors, dimensions, heights, everything. And yet, some of the toughest people I know are women as well. That's the God's
Seriously.
honest truth.
Seriously.
Yeah. To describe what you were talking about your mother before, and the fact of not being fake, not by any means. Some people could say, "Oh, you put on a face," but the fact that you were explaining how tough she was during things,
Mhm.
and you didn't even know
Mhm.
that, and that's the thing you got to realize too. For anybody listening, some of the people you think are rock stars may be hanging on by a thread,
Yep.
and you just assume, oh, they got it all together because they're not whiny or they're not this, or they might be just holding on by a thread.
Yep.
And that was so real when you said that, and obviously her service and the impact she's had on you, but when it made me remember, rest in peace to Colonel DeWolf,
Mhm.
the quote from Miyamoto Musashi, the famous swordsman. He wrote the book The Five Rings,
Mhm.
famous swordsman in Japan. Um, he said to hold it all together when the world would understand if you fell apart. That's true strength.
That's a
That's true
fact.
strength.
That's a fact.
I mean,
That's
like
a
when I
fact.
think of somebody like Neil McDonald,
Mhm.
the comedian, or like Chadwick Boseman,
Mhm.
nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
Nobody knew.
And that's insane.
Crazy.
You're dealing with something that some of us will never understand. We only see what it looks like. And you going through it. It's crazy.
It is.
Crazy.
That's just true strength right there. And to yeah, I just anyone that's going through a hard time right now that's still showing up, and I'm sure many people are listening to this in different ways, but still showing up for the cause or for the kids or for the community, whatever it is, and not I don't know, I don't want to sound to anyone who acknowledges it that like they're a bad person, nobody, not by any means, but just that level of strength to still show up, to still be your best self. I mean, that is resilience, dog. That is strength. That is metal. That's the measure of someone.
Yeah.
It's inspiring.
Even on your worst day. Imagine you on your worst day and imagine what you will look like when you come out of that
Mhm.
on the other side. You a gangster at that point.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
made it through. I made it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I survived.
And even some don't though.
Yeah.
Like Colonel DeWolf. I mean, rest in
True.
peace to Wolfie. Like I talked to that guy. You'd have never known. I put it in that book. That's why I got All Things Considered right here. He hit me up. He's like, I hit him up because I heard about the news, and I was like, hey, if you need anything, I'm like, what am I gonna do? But he's in America already, and he was like, hey, if you're near DC, remember I was from Virginia, and he said we got to get up, and it's all caps, because he was that guy that was like, the slap the back guy. We all
You're
know those
right.
older guys,
Right.
and
Oh, you
just
showed her up.
yeah, like oh God, just said hi. Turk be doing that. I love you, Turk, but he's like, he replies back, says that, and he's like, he says, all things considered, we're doing great. How are you and the family? And I was like, it was so like, does he know that he has the thing that I heard he had? And
Mhm.
nah. And then anytime you talk to him afterwards, like the treatments weren't, obviously doing what, eventually he passed away,
Mhm.
but he would just say, I'm attacking a different direction.
Mhm.
No mopey stuff. And just, you say, oh man, that's just another level right there, man,
Yeah.
to be literally perishing. And he didn't waste no time on no pity party.
Yeah.
He just kept moving forward, loved his family even more, and made the most of the time he had. Like, I would pray I could, but you don't know until you're in the
I
situation.
was just about to say that. I haven't tapped into that type of toughness yet. And I think about that often. Like, would I be that?
Yeah.
Or could I be that?
Yeah. You
You
just
know?
don't know until you met with such things.
Exactly.
But you are practicing it every
Right.
day
Trying.
by keep going, you know.
Right.
And I think it is a muscle. I agree with that with David Goggins. Like he talks about like the callousing of our minds and it's a muscle. So
Mhm.
you've been seeing your mom work out every day
Mhm.
in that metaphor
Mhm.
and show it and then you live it and hopefully we're able to prove it.
Yeah.
Hopefully. I don't
Right.
know. But I think there's so much strength in too where you say you fall short.
Mhm.
And I don't have it figured out. I think that's a growth mindset. And a lot of people don't have that.
Mhm.
I got it all figured out. Okay, life's about to humble you.
Man, I ain't never known somebody that had it all figured out.
No. The more I know I don't know.
Facts.
Yeah.
I don't know nothing. That's what I know.
That's the reason I have these bricks, man.
Yeah.
Like that's the reason why, like, one, it looks cool for stand up when if I film myself and stuff. But no, it's that brick by brick, that day by day, that play by
Mhm.
play, that your wife probably wouldn't like it, but that Nick Saban, the process,
Yeah, right.
because I know she War Eagle for life, I'm sure. But you know, it's the day by day. The scoreboard will take care of itself.
Right.
It's that day by day. How am I laying these bricks?
Right.
You know, that's
Right.
why it's a reminder to me. The bricks, you see them everywhere.
Mhm.
It's the moment by moment, the day by day of getting out of bed and keep moving forward. Hopefully, it'll add up to a good wall.
I think it's a good wall right now.
It's a good wall, and you just
Yeah.
and then how can you help other people build their walls of life? Not like walls in a negative way, but you know what I'm saying.
Foundational wall.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
I think the hardest thing too is maintaining. How I know you said prayer, but how are some ways that you've maintained over the years? And I know you're about to go up on a big new challenge.
Yep.
It takes a lot of courage to do what you're about to do.
Yep. Well, some things that I like to do to maintain is what I'm doing now is I'm being intentional with my day to day.
Mm,
There's so much day that's already taken away from me. Journaling,
yes.
honestly, being still, being calm is something that I've done. Not feeling rushed.
Hmm.
Uh, putting my phone down.
Amen.
That there takes so much. If anybody is my generation or younger, or if you're the generation ahead of me, and
Oh,
you
it's getting
haven't,
all of us by
yeah,
now. But yeah,
if you ain't put your phone down yet, take a week off. Just take a beat off. Watch how everything around you changes. Go outside, walk for like 30 minutes, get stung by a bee, listen to the birds.
mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Smell some pollen, sneeze. It changes you so fast, so fast.
You just made me anxious thinking about going outside my house without my phone for 30 minutes,
Right.
right? Or listening to a podcast or
Yeah.
listening to music, like kind of not doing nothing.
Ever. I rest in peace of my grandfather. I remember the first time I rode in the car with him, he had no music on. Now I'm riding with him
That's
now.
real. That's real.
I'm just listening. Windows down, arm out the window. And it's probably some of the happiest moments I've had in like recent memory. I swear.
That's great. I swear we didn't stage this. I had the exact same thought the other night. I was driving back from a mic and all I did was think about stuff.
Yep.
And I had my windows down and I was listening to the air. It was one of those nice like summer nights, you know?
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't never do this.
Yeah.
But I've been finding myself do that more often recently. And I love music.
Right.
And I love
Right.
spoken word. Like I'm a nerd. I'll listen to old speeches and stuff.
Mhm.
Like I listen to George Carlin or Red Fox or anything. I'll listen to, you know, Dr. King's speech or Robert Kennedy, all these speeches from back in
Right.
the day. I'm a nerd, big nerd. Um, but I just been lately doing that, what you
Yeah.
just said. And I didn't do it because, oh, Coach Curry said do it, it helps out, and his grandpa did it, and he's a good man. No, I just was doing that, and it really is a different experience.
Absolutely. There's a calmness in you that there's a calmness in us that the world is taking away from us. You know, they made songs about, they literally made noise about not hearing noise.
Hmm.
You get what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
taking a step off the beaten path.
Yes.
You know, for the people who exercise, go running with no headphones one day. Just run.
Oof.
You know what I mean? Go run for
Yeah.
30, go run for an hour. Go on a trail.
Nothing.
Go listen to water. Go listen to water.
Oh my God. Yes.
Listen
Yes.
to real water. It'll change your life. So that is where I'm trying to maintain. That's what's helping me maintain. Me and my wife, we went on a walk about 2 weeks ago for an hour, and we did just that. You know, so there were points where we were talking. There were points where we weren't talking.
Hmm.
But when we finished, we felt so fantastic.
That's
You know what I
cool,
mean?
man.
Like, it's just that there, because we got all the answers.
Mhm,
There's not nobody here. I'm a firm believer, and this might be the wrong thing to say. We all got the answers. We done
mhm,
seen enough podcasts. We done read enough self-help books. You know what I'm saying? We know the right direction to go to, the right person to talk to. We got the answer.
mhm, mhm.
Now it's time for you to be still in that and understand, am I going to listen to that?
Yeah,
Am I going to acknowledge that?
I feel conviction right now, everybody.
You
I
know,
do, I know I do. I do.
that's real.
Yeah.
You know, I know what I need to do in order to
Yeah,
be
but
a
you're
better
not.
man.
He's also not saying he has it all figured out or anything like that.
No.
But you're right, though. There's a lot of. There's a book. It was called like "Keep Calm, You're Doing Well" or something like that. And
Right.
it's this whole idea was of that. Like you know enough. You know what right and wrong is, and you can learn some more. But to actually let it marinate
Mhm.
and let yourself digest it,
Mhm.
instead of. I mean, I'd be guilty of this. You just receive, 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 receive. I
Mhm.
want to grow. I want to grow. I want to be better. I want to be better. And then you can just sanitize so much. You kind of can lose yourself in the noise.
Mhm. Uh,
That's convicting to me.
there's a two-part thing for this too, and this is where, like I said, through all this that I'm going through now, God's timing is so crazy. Um, what I'm going through now is, am I enough today?
Mm,
If everything stopped, if I never progressed, quote unquote, is me as I am today enough? Is JT enough today? You know? And that's the question that everybody needs to ask themselves, you know? And on that, on the spiritual level, is, would God be proud of me? If everything stopped and if I had to go talk to God today, what would he say?
mm,
You know, about my actions and my heart,
yeah.
more so my heart.
Right.
Cause we are the beautiful thing about, you know, if you believe in God is that he's going to forgive you regardless.
Mm,
You know what I mean? You've already been forgiven. But what does your heart say? You know, are you okay today in the sense of, I'm doing these things because it is good and it's what's supposed to be done. I'm doing it because I'm a meek and humble servant.
yeah.
You know,
Yes.
I'm a selfless human being. Or am I doing this because I know it's supposed to be right?
Hmm.
You know, on the flip side, do I hate the world because what the world has done to me? You know, what does your heart look like? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's what calmness, that's how you can maintain. You have to reflect,
Yeah.
you know? You have to reflect and be honest with yourself. If you don't like the answer that you might hear from yourself, that's okay too. At least you recognize that you know where you stand.
Yeah.
Some people living in this world, they don't even know where they stand,
That's true. That's
you know?
true. Yeah, they don't. I've been there. You're so caught up, you
Yeah.
don't even realize. Like it's literally not intentional.
Yeah.
But you started off with saying being intentional,
Being intentional.
and they don't realize it. And there's reflect, but then don't ruminate.
Don't ruminate, please
You know,
don't.
have
Yeah.
downtime, but don't dwell.
Yeah, yeah,
You know.
yeah. Because also the devil preys on the idle mind at the same time. So you got to know when you're beating yourself down, that's not you. You
Yes,
know what I mean? Just recognize where we all fall short because we all fall short.
we really do.
You
Yeah,
know?
and I don't care what you believe in. You can Christianity, Buddhism, Muslim. It doesn't matter. Islam, Judaism. We all fall short of all of those things,
Right. Right.
of all of them,
Right.
or anything else. You know, just sometimes we just fall short, and we're imperfect as human
Mhm.
beings. But to be able to, it's like cognitive behavioral therapy, like what you're expressing right now. And I'm like, this is why it's so convicting for me because I talk to my therapist, and this is some of the things that she be telling me. But it's that recognizing, that catching it. You know, I think the three C's of CBT is to catch, check, change. You
Mhm.
know, but you were already doing. You didn't even. I'm not saying you didn't know it all, but you're already doing that. But you're catching it. But you're being mindful enough and slowing down enough to be able to catch things. But sometimes we're so busy, we're so caught up in the noise, and I mean, our attention is being pulled in every direction nowadays. You
Mhm.
know, you cannot catch, and you definitely gonna check, and you ain't gonna
Mhm.
change if you didn't catch it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, we do. That's why I have those. That's why I got my little turtles, my little tortoises. I call them
Yeah.
turtles, but they're tortoises. They don't want for nothing.
Nothing.
But you know what? They're gonna outlive me, and they are survivors. Like
Mhm.
it's funny because my one of my counselors gave them to me a long time ago,
I ain't
and I didn't realize it later on. Like prescribed me Prozac and gave me a little Prozacs. You know what I mean? Like I think back
Yeah.
on it now, I'm like, was this person just cool or was they maybe this is part of their treatment plan?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because they slow down. They don't stress out. Like
Mhm.
they're still living. They take a shit. They hang out. They pee, procreate. They go back to sleep.
Mhm.
But they still lasted. They're dinosaurs. You know, I'm not, and that's an extreme example, but it is a physical reminder to slow
Mhm.
down.
Slow down. So long. Life is long. Life is short, but life is so long.
Mhm.
Just think about everybody's had a long day. Life is long.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure. It's like with kids. The days are long, but the years are short.
Yes.
Yeah, the days
Yeah.
sometimes are like, oh, I feel bad sometimes for how annoyed I get because I'm like, I would hate to be a Job or to lose this, but sometimes you're at your wits end and there's a
Yeah.
lot of demand in this, and that day was long,
Facts.
and yeah,
Facts.
it's long, but the years are so short.
Yeah.
You know, I'm seeing you expressing your daughter, and I still can't believe my daughter, my son are grown men and women now.
Yeah.
Grown adults. Like
Literally.
what? Where?
Literally, they were kids.
But I can look back and go, oh, those are some long days.
Yeah.
The years don't feel so long, but
Yeah.
I get the point. And I think that's why time is so relative.
Mhm.
It's relative. You know,
Mhm.
you think about somebody retired and they're like, I retired 20 years ago and like they flew by.
Yeah.
But somebody coming up, you know, it feels like, 10 to 30 is like for forever.
Right.
Right. But if you 60 to 80,
Yeah.
that probably was a blink for that person. But it's all relative sometimes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But how can you really appreciate it if we don't do what you said, which is be intentional, to journal, to reflect, to pray, to just stop sometimes? That's powerful. I needed that. And some of y'all listen like, this dude needed Coach Curry today. No, it's true. It's true. These are just constant themes that I know I need to do. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're about to embark on something, so I know resilience is going to apply. I mean, it takes a lot of courage to step away from something so secure.
Mhm.
You know, I had a veteran on here the other day who was expressing how scary that first year out is, but also we were talking about like Maslow's hierarchy of needs, and like military service is great because like food, shelter, water. You always know. You might not know where you're going to live next year,
Mhm.
or if you're even going to be alive, which is
Mhm.
for all of us all the time anyway,
For sure.
or what conflict may occur. But those basic human needs are met.
Right.
You know, even connection, because you can feel lonely sometimes in the military. That applies too. But more times than not, you'll have connection to others and similar like mindedness. But that other thing in there, and then you leave,
Mhm.
and all of that is, you know,
Absolutely.
it's gone
Yeah.
until you find it again. But that that friction in between, because I'll just speak from my experience. My wife and I don't come from a lot of security and stability, and grew up in certain environments and situations, and everybody has their yesterday, so no sob story. But that has been a scary part. That
Mhm.
security being gone.
Yeah.
Knowing you're going to get paid this day, knowing, our meat is cheaper at the commissary, cologne's cheaper at the exchange, and if you're stationed near something, but a lot of our basic needs are met. So the security, so when you take that security out,
Yeah.
like it's scary.
Yeah.
It's scary.
And
Have you
I'm doing
felt
it
some of
scared.
that? Yeah.
I'm doing it scared. Listen, when I tell you I'm scared,
Yeah.
this is honest to God truth. Just this week, I've had 2 days specifically where I was like, I'm terrified.
Yeah.
Because whether we believe it or not, the military has shaped us. It's made
Yes.
us who we are.
Yes.
There's a reason I put my clothes on the way I do.
Yes.
I iron every shirt. I iron every shirt. You know what I mean? Like, I get up a certain way. I have a routine.
Yeah.
I do it that way. And it's almost like you leaving the house again.
It really is.
You
Yeah.
know what I
I mean, we
mean?
always joke when we're in and we say, well, I don't even know what I want to be when I grow up, because it is. You're still a man or a woman and you're earning and all those good things. But yeah, there is that. You do feel like it's like you're leaving home kind of
Mhm.
thing.
And that's the part that makes it fun, because I'm glad you said that, because now I know what I want to be when I grow up. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, so let me go spread my wings. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I'm a peacock. I gotta fly.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mark Wahlberg. Yeah.
Mikey Mac.
Yeah, I'm just doing it scared.
Yeah.
At least I'm doing it.
Yeah. It's scary. It's scary.
Yeah.
If anyone who has And we always say get out.
Yeah.
I have a little comedy bit about that, but like it's only us, inmates, and zoo animals say that.
Nah, for real.
We get out. How long you been in, dog? But it's just us. It's the culture of being in, and it's so immersive into your soul that I just want you to know in it, you ain't alone.
Yeah.
You know, I think so many veterans. I've lost a few friends and people I know of that, and I know that's not going to be you, but they can fall into a darkness because they feel like they can't reach back because they're not a part of it anymore. That's not true.
Mhm.
That's not true. Like you probably can't like show up at your unit again. That'd be weird a little bit, right?
Mhm.
But you can call the people from the unit.
Yep.
You still have them on social media. You still have them on email. You still can FaceTime them. So it's like it never leaves you,
Mhm.
And I'll tell you this, like you're just never alone.
I
And
appreciate that. Yeah.
brother to brother, friend to friend, coach to coach. I'm always here for you, like no matter what time or whatever. You just got to text me ahead and be like, I'm about to call you. Be like, oh, snap. Because sometimes I don't be getting no alerts because, man, my phone be going off. But the realness is what I'm trying to say is that, like, you're not alone in this.
I appreciate it.
And I do know your heart, your work ethic, your wife's work ethic. Y'all going to be fine. You might even be better off than you were, and that's just honestly how it is, But to miss it, I've accepted because it's grief that I can miss something and love something. I miss the Marines and Sailors. I love the Marines and Sailors, but you can miss something and love something and not want to return to the organization all at the same time, and that's a complex feeling. It's a complex feeling. I have no bitterness. I have nothing but love and gratitude. I wouldn't be who I am without. But at the same time, I don't want to go back to it.
Yeah.
It's not for another chapter.
Yeah.
And that hits us all at some point. But I know with you, what I again admire, your identity is not wrapped up just in being in the military. It's a part of you. It's an important part of you. And it's something you should be proud of, and you deserve all the flowers for it. However, I think where a lot of our veterans fall short, and I know I would have too if I didn't get enlightened towards the last like probably 10 years or 7 years really of my time in, is that you have an identity outside of, being a sailor, being a corpsman, being a devil doc. You have there's other things and parts of you: father, husband, coach, community, family member to those who you're going to be close to again geographically. But I think so many of us wrap up our whole identity in just being a Marine. And I don't want to say justice, and I'm knocking it, that when we leave, it's like, who am I? And I think we all have that to some degree anyways, but that they get wrapped up in that. And now I don't matter. And when you complained about the phone ringing all the time because they called you because dumb got or needs a ride or a flat tire or a DUI or whatever the thing is, you can feel like you don't matter anymore. I think a protective factor for you is that you matter so much to so many different people and so many other hats you wear in life that you're going to still feel like you matter. Because I think I've seen it with a lot of veterans. You feel like you don't matter. You're not relative. You're not relevant. You just don't matter. And I think we need to matter. And I know you're going to have that. We all, it's a weird thing, but just, it's coming. It's coming. And I was prepared for it. I read books on it. I talked to people about it, but you don't know it till you feel it.
Right.
But I know you're going to be good. Yeah. And if you're not, then hit somebody up.
For sure. I'm definitely going to one of those veteran get-togethers one day.
Got to, man.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about our moments, because that is what you just explained is something that I do struggle with. So
Yeah.
thank you for having that confidence to know that, because it's scary.
It's very scary.
Very scary.
It's very scary. And anybody listening, that wasn't to undermine or say, oh, you're just to this. No, that's an amazing thing to
Absolutely.
be. However, we all have to walk out of that gate one day with a DD-214 and carry on. And I think some of us don't carry on so well. And I think that by default, whether you're like this by nature or by raising or by your own heart, or if you were just in for so long, I think we get addicted to serving something bigger than us. So when we just get out and chase money, there can be an emptiness there. But you could chase money and coach a youth sports team and, volunteer. But that service, it's like, I used to tell the Marines, like, we have 2 stomachs now, and you need to fill it with that in some way. It doesn't need to cripple your whole day or your whole life, but to still serve something bigger than you, because for so long, by default, you were a part of something bigger than you. And that goes into the mattering and the purpose and the, and sometimes People don't feel like they matter, and there's no purpose, and then reflections turn to ruminating and downward spirals, and just don't let yourself get there. And I'm trying not to let myself. I don't think we retire. We repurpose.
Repurpose.
We repurpose, man.
Yeah.
Retirement's a punishment in the old days.
Right. You're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Can I make a point to some
Yeah,
of the
please.
somebody maybe in the barracks to this point? Your service is more than what you think it is anyway. You know, all those guys that you play online with, online games, and everybody's in their room and they're isolated, and some of those guys don't like the PT or they don't like to go drinking on the weekends, but they like to get in with the boys, even though they might be 3 barracks rooms down. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
that's service. That's community.
That's community. It
You know what I'm
is.
saying? You're taking your time, that you're building a bond with somebody. I've seen it firsthand. You know, they might call you a nerd or whatever. I don't think there's a such thing as a real nerd because we're all nerds.
We're all nerds or
Um,
something.
I literally I got a Pokemon tattooed on my leg. And that just gives y'all a reference. But yeah, you're doing yourself and you're doing others a service. Anything you do, don't ever let anybody simmer you down, tell you that it's minuscule, tell you that it's dumb. Because if all it takes is 2 people, if I always go back to the word, when 2 or more people come together, you know, God is there. You
Yeah,
know, whether you believe in that or not, when 2 people come together, a good thing is happening. So
it's true.
don't ever let anybody tell you that you're not doing enough, or don't ever think to yourself you're not paying it forward. You know,
Yeah.
all it takes is one little ping on PlayStation, and then you got something going.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I
That's
mean?
true. Yeah,
Just to give you an example of that, but that's real. You know
it
what I
is. It's
mean?
very real.
Or when we used to hike up Iwakuni,
But yeah,
Iwakuni
Castle Runs. Y'all remember them?
Yeah, all it takes is one person. There were days it was 20 people. There was days it was one person.
That is
But all
true,
it
my
takes is
friend.
one person,
Yeah.
you know?
Same with them workouts you used to provide for the clinics for the players.
Exactly.
Sometimes it was no person. Sometimes 5 of them show up.
Exactly.
But you still showed up. You still provided the
Mhm.
platform. Yeah.
It's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be there. You just have to sow the seed.
Yes.
Sow the seed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
As a great Marine leader, Saw Major Wilson. I love this guy. He's one of the most inspiration to me. Telling you, man, this guy. But he talks about farmers farm and leaders lead.
Mm-hmm.
And he talks about, I've heard him give the speech a few times, or at least the theme of the speech. And I just watch every time I take notes. But he talks about, if you're planting garbage, you're going to get garbage. But like you plant, you cultivate, and then you plant the seeds and it grows.
Mm-hmm.
And he ties it to leadership and how we do that. But it's also in the day-to-day connections. And if it's one other person, then that's leadership. And sometimes leadership is leading yourself.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter if you're leading at the levels he's leading, or if you're just, like he said in the barracks right there, you providing that connection is protection for someone else. And yes, I did rhyme again. But no, connection is the strongest protective factor against death by suicide, because people feel like they're alone and they don't matter and they lack connection.
Mm-hmm.
And God bless you and great for you if it's your fucking family that you're connected to. But some of us don't have that.
Right.
So it could only be that person 3 doors down or wherever. That's a band, I think, 3 doors down. But anyway, in the barracks, you know what I'm saying? Like, but it is, and it has its place for sure. Yeah, I've been guilty of that before. But like dismiss certain cultures, the video game culture or this culture, and saying that that's not their own form of gaining connection. And it is real, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure they hang out in other places and things like that. But if you're getting positive and you're getting connection, then do that shit, man. And if you're providing it for other people, good. But then also go out to eat and hang out, go work out together if you can, all the different things. But connection, don't be isolated. We're not meant to be alone.
Right.
There is a time to have reflection. And to the Bible, even Jesus went 40 days by himself, all the things. There's a time and a place for everything. But when we go full isolation, even introverts need interaction, right? They need to be around people. So hard part is finding your tribe.
Mm-hmm. They out there. It's 2026. They so out there.
Yeah.
You can literally type in people who only paint one toenail but like to play hopscotch and jacks and watch it.
And they got a crew somewhere.
There's a Facebook group that's gonna pop up.
Yeah.
Do you have one toenail?
Yeah. So that's how you find connection. I know faith, I know sports, I know obviously military, but video games as well.
For me, no, actually. How I
The
find
guy with the
con
Pokemon tattoo don't do the video game?
no, I don't even watch anime. That's crazy.
Yeah.
The reason I got this tattoo, uh, this is just a random tidbit. I used to watch anime a lot, and I'm
Yeah.
trying to start a leg sleeve with all black anime characters.
Ah, that's dope.
Yeah.
That's
So
tight.
some people don't think he is, but Brock from Pokemon.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Brock tattooed on me with a
Ah,
onyx on the back
okay.
and the silhouette. So yeah, I don't even watch TV no more, to be honest with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
um, how do I find my tribe? Um, this is where I get to be human. I ain't looking for him.
Oh,
You know,
yes.
I'm not looking for no tribe. I think if they come, that's a blessing.
Right.
And my door isn't closed.
Yeah.
But I got who I got, and I think right now that's more than enough.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's awesome. That's wealth. That's
yeah.
wealth.
Right.
Yeah. And if it's meant to be, it shall be.
Hmm.
But if you was alone and didn't have your tribe, would you go?
Yeah,
Yeah, you got to. Okay, all
yeah.
right, cool. So and that's to that lonely person out there. Don't be like, well, he wasn't looking for it, but he also has a tribe already. So, you know, people, the world's better with you in it. And
Facts.
the way I feel is if the powers that be, God in my case, didn't want us to be here, we wouldn't be here.
Hmm.
So if you're here, don't try to play God.
Go do your hobbies outside.
Yeah,
That's the answer I have to that. They have everybody's hobby is public now. They have meetups for that type of stuff.
yeah,
All stuff.
yeah, yeah,
They got meetups for if you are a Marine.
yeah. It's true.
The day you get out, where do Marine veterans go hang out at? Oh, we're gonna meet at the park today at 3 o'clock.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, we're gonna go work out. We're gonna go do a Murph. Just
Yeah,
prepare for the Murph.
yeah, yeah. The Murph.
You know what I
Oof.
mean? Like they go do, and that's the scariest part to be yourself out in public. I feel like for a lot of people, go do the hobby, find out other people who do the hobby outside, and go do it outside.
Yeah. And be open to getting new hobbies too. I talk about a lot of time Armed Services Arts Partnership and Mission Belonging. And there's just so many things out there that are free, especially for the veteran community. But there's also, and I've shared it as well, art opportunities and art therapies and sports and
Mhm.
intramural leagues. And man, I
Mhm.
met some of my coolest friends just being a youth sports coach,
Right,
you know? And
right,
and some of those sports I never had played.
right.
I knew the principles of physical fitness and I knew how to get them fired up. And then I had to Google techniques
Mhm.
and get educated on how to coach. So I never played soccer. I never coach. I didn't learn positions. How am I going to tell a kid to do this? And I don't know. But at the same time, though, it was all easy. I didn't like buy full blown books and I don't have books on soccer.
Mhm.
Google, YouTube, figure it out.
Right,
You know.
right.
But in doing that, some of the parents that I was able to meet, and then some of the other coaches, man, lifelong friends.
Yep,
Lifelong friends. I mean, just from something as simple as that.
yep.
Going outside.
Going outside. Hey, there's a recurring theme here.
Yeah, it is. It
Get your
is.
ass up and go outside,
Get
man.
your ass up and go outside. Yeah,
For
that,
real.
it is. It is. We're stronger together, and we need more of that today because we're so divided over simple stuff. But
Mhm.
to quote Maya Angelou again, read that poem, Human Family. She says in there, like 3 times towards the end, we are more alike than unalike. All of us as humans. We're unique. Yep. We're as unique as this little QR code God gave us, nature gave us, right on our fingertips. But we are more alike than unalike. So your tribe's out there.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
And reach out to me. It might take me 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days, but I'll respond.
Man, that's awesome, man. To put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. And just remember, if somebody doesn't answer, that doesn't mean they don't care. It just means they may be busy because we're all busy and we're all running, this world of stars, we're all a little movie in life, right? But
Mhm.
we get over inundated like no other time in history. Oh my God. The pings, dings, and Teams alerts and this and that and messages. And like sometimes I just like, I actually message people and say, I'm going to listen to this when I can. I love you, but I don't want to half ass showing up for you.
That's a fact.
There was another time recently too where somebody I coached with, a great human, was going through something, and I was not at my best. I was a lot of depression, and my wife were arguing and hit me up, and I said, I can't right now, man. Can I hit you up in like 2 days? That person went and sought a higher echelon of care and was put into inpatient
Mm.
and got what they needed. However, it was almost, I'll say God, universe, whatever. If I would have half-assed and shown up for that person, I would have hurt myself and I would have potentially hurt them because what that person needed at that moment was not me giving them happy talk and all
Mhm.
the quotes I spew off. They
Mhm.
needed a higher echelon of real care,
Mhm.
and they went and got it,
Right.
and they're better now.
Right.
So even if I did show up, I might not have been doing what needed to be done.
Mhm.
So, and that was the first time I'd ever been, one of the first times ever a fellow brother or sister reached out to me and I said, I just can't right now. And it wasn't like time. It was time. It wasn't money or anything like that. There's times I definitely got to say that shit about money, but that enabled that person to go, well, I need to go to this route. And that was the route they were actually supposed to be on. So that was a very, what do they say? Like an epiphany, you know, clarity moment for me that sometimes when you don't answer, it might be with somebody, but that doesn't mean that nobody cares.
Right.
We put that on somebody and say, well, I called Coach Craig, he didn't answer. Nobody cares about me. And then you make a permanent decision. And that's not fair. That's not
Mhm.
fair to him. That's not fair to you. There are other people out there. I mean, there's 988, there's 911. There's just so many resources out here, and we got to inform ourselves on them, as you said way earlier, for when you might need them.
Mhm.
In that preparation, like you told the girls on that bus, you didn't prepare for this,
Right.
and we have to be prepared for those for ourselves and then for others too. So be aware of some of the resources. It gets repetitive sometimes because it seems like there's so many resources. Which fucking one is the one? But I post a lot about it. There's a lot of other like-minded people that post a lot about it and share positive resources. I shared a big ass list yesterday, but people do care is what I'm getting at, and you're one of them, and I thank you for that.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I
Really
talk
do.
long. Sorry, him long-winded.
No, it's good. People need to hear you. People need to hear this.
Yeah, they need to hear you today. I needed to hear you today. I don't even care if we even publish this episode. I'm gonna listen back to it because you have place some conviction and some good things on my heart that I need to, hit a change step.
Mm.
Not on about face, but just a little change step.
Yeah.
Change step, on the subject of people and needing help and things of that nature. We are losing too many people right now to suicide. And I think it's like one of the only preventable ways of death. There might be some other ones, but that is definitely a preventable way of death. We can't control cancer. We can't control just life in car accidents, different things. We could argue that's death, or we could argue that until we're both dead, is what I meant to say. But suicide is definitely something that is a preventable way of death. If someone was out there right now contemplating making that permanent decision to end their life, to die by suicide, and you had the opportunity to say something to them before, what would you say?
So much, but so little. As somebody who has been through that, whether you believe it or not, one, there is somebody that loves you for sure. The person that tells you good morning with intention, they love you. The person that tells you good night, they love you. The person who asks you how you doing, they love you. You know, how can I help you? The person that yells at you,
Mm-hmm.
your staff NCO, your junior, you know, your aide, if you're in that part in life to where you got an aide. No. There's somebody out there that looks forward to you and expects you every single day. And that is more than enough. You have to love yourself just as much as that person loves you. You have to expect yourself just as much as that person expects you to be there. Be there for yourself. As I said before, tomorrow might be the day that takes you over the top. You know what the bottom looks like. Imagine what the top will look like. Tomorrow could be that day, and that I pray that that's enough for you to get up. So now that today sucks, but tomorrow might be the day I win, and somebody expects me to be where I'm supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
We all ain't got everything, you know. I don't have everything. I told y'all in the grand scheme of things, my family is big, but my family's small, you know. But I got to be there for those people,
Mm-hmm.
and they got to be there for me. We need to be there for each other.
Yes.
So be there. Show up.
Everything you said on this, I needed to hear today. And I appreciate you and being vulnerable and saying something as simple as what you just said, like, I've been there. That's powerful because we sit here and I've spoken to you for this time, and you can tell you're well thought and focused and giving and unselfish, and you're a leader. and you're saying you've been there. That
Yeah.
that means so much. And to know, well, you're here today.
Yeah. Showed up. I showed up. And I didn't show up for myself first, honestly. I
Yeah.
showed up for others,
Yes.
which helped me show up for myself.
You see that you pour 10 ounces, you get 100 back kind of
Mhm.
thing? Yeah, no, for sure. There's something powerful in that. And it backs up everything that you stand for. But to see someone like you, a knight in shining armor, like your daughter looks at you, a superhero, that you've been there, that you've struggled with these things and you've shown up. And even on the days you didn't want to be here. And that's real. And I hope everyone understands that like this issue doesn't discriminate.
No. Hey, no.
It doesn't. And when you said the comment about aid, that's funny. I laughed at it, but I love how you hit every section of status of if you're a junior, if you're a staff CEO, or even the ones yelling at us are sometimes the ones that care about us the most, so on and so forth. But man, we've lost generals, admirals, colonels, people that are esteemed or people that you think have it all figured out
Mhm.
and they're hanging on by a thread. So it just doesn't discriminate. Every class, every gender, every race, every background, pastors, priests,
Right.
like
Right.
it doesn't discriminate.
Right. Think of Memorial Day pisses me off for that reason. I'm not gonna say I do not hate Memorial Day. I hate when people say Happy Memorial Day.
Oh yeah. No. No, definitely not that.
You know what I mean? Like, and honestly, everybody that doesn't put on a uniform will get it. Or if you do get it and you don't put on a uniform, I thank you for it. But it's a day of reflection.
Yeah.
So we won't have another one.
Yes.
Those little short 30-second videos of all those people, whether you know them or not, you know, or you post your buddies. Some people might have one, some people might have 10.
Hmm.
There's nothing happy about that. That is real life. You
That
know what I'm
is real
saying?
life.
That's somebody, unfortunately, who thought they gave it all away.
Gave it all up. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For freedoms that they can't even partake in.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
There's nothing happy about that. I hate that term.
Yeah.
I stay off the internet for that reason.
Oh
Days.
no, they're just not to be triggered and pissed off. That's a smart move.
I stay
That's a
off it.
smart move, man.
Man, don't let us add to that, please.
Yes.
You know, don't add to that. Don't nobody wants to be there
Yeah.
because it sucks. Whenever we say I'm thinking about faces in my head now, we all got faces in our head. We all see the images.
Yeah.
You're more than enough. Just gotta be there for yourself, love yourself, know that you are more than enough, and get up for the next person. If you can't get up for yourself, get up for the next person.
Do you think that when you went through your time, that is influenced the way because you have a high level of compassion and empathy, and you're a warrior in the garden. You're meek. You got the sword in the sheath. I got that. But did it for me? And that's my last attempt. That I obviously didn't carry out all the way because I passed out drunk. But I woke up and said, "What did I almost just do?" It really, as time went on and I got on meds and I cut out alcohol and I was able to go some therapy, it made me realize, like, not to brag on myself, but I was doing pretty good at things and I had a beautiful wife and I had children and I'd done all these things and I was brought to that point. I was brought to that point of making or contemplating or carrying out that decision. And um, it humbled me so much, but it really, I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing now and trying to hope that others won't do that because I realized if I was susceptible to it in all of the ways I held myself in a certain esteem and when others did, man, who else is too,
Mhm.
you know? And I've had faith and I've had all those things and I was still sitting there with a belt and a doorknob,
Absolutely.
you know?
Absolutely.
It-
Yeah.
Has that has that had an impact on how you viewed this whole situation because you've been through it?
I don't play with it. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
I don't play with it at all. Uh, I don't even joke like that.
yeah.
And you know, our
Hey, joke.
yeah,
Yeah,
they be joking. I don't
yeah,
even play like that because I even when I didn't understand it when I lost somebody when I was a kid
yeah.
to suicide, like when I think the first time I recognized it was in high school, like
Mhm.
ninth grade. I didn't understand it, but there's a shift when somebody's just not there.
For
You get
sure.
what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
when they're there, now they're not, you know? And what's I forget what was the situation. It was almost a dream to where I wasn't here,
Mm,
but I could see everything that was going on.
mm,
And it gave me a reflection of what life could look like if I wasn't there.
yeah,
That's why I don't do it for myself.
yes,
How dare I not be there for the people that need me? The hell, and all honestly, like this is why I'm the hell with what I got. You know, how dare I not be there for my people?
yeah,
And I mean, like you said, it was right there.
mhm,
It could have been the one bad decision
yeah,
because you were at your lowest low.
yeah,
And I haven't crossed over to find out that position, but thank God I didn't make that decision because it was like, how dare I be that selfish?
yeah,
No disrespect to anybody.
right.
I'm speaking to me,
Yeah, speaking from his experience, everybody.
my
Yeah,
daughter wouldn't be here. My wife would be a widow.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
So many people wouldn't be who they are. My kids wouldn't be who they are without you.
to that point, I would never had a relationship with y'all. You know, I would never had got to make people stronger. And I'm not trying to sound selfish, but people need me.
Yes, and you matter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the whole point to it is like it's not about nothing I speak on, and I hope when I speak, I hope that's what I get to put out to the world. Nothing I do is about me.
right.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing I do is about me. If it to the point where it starts being about me, I need to reflect.
Mm,
I need to change who I am. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm I'm just me. You
yes,
know what I mean?
yes,
But there's so many people who are so precious to others.
yeah,
And I am humble enough to know that I'm precious to somebody else, and that's how the world becomes a beautiful place.
yes,
But I need people just as much as they need me. And we have to tell each other that
yes.
in order to keep this narrative going forward.
Got to.
That's why you get yelled at in the morning when you look like a bag of ass when you come to work. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that person's not trying to
Yeah.
crucify you.
No,
The ones that correct you are usually the ones who care.
exactly. That's why if I see as a corpsman, if I know your knees jacked up and then I see you going crazy at the club the same night, I'm on your ass.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not because like, if I wasn't, I'll just let you rock out, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? But those simple things, I know I'm simmering it down to make it sound so simple, but we need each other.
Yes.
I need you, you need me.
Same.
You know what I mean? We need each other. It would be a shame. And that's why I'm big in faith. God would be so disappointed.
Yeah.
Oh, you gave up.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I go in to dap and God, hey God, how you doing?
Yeah.
I'm a big fan. Oh no.
Big fan.
You know what I mean? I love everything you did. And he's like, no, but I still needed you back there and you decided
Uh-huh.
that you was done.
Yeah.
And he's like, watch this video. That's
Yeah.
literally what the dream was like. Watch what's going on right now because you wanted to be with me. I didn't tell you. I wasn't ready for you to be here. You got
Yeah.
so much more work to do.
Yeah.
Servant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
That's real. That's
Yeah.
real. And the other side of it is too when we feel ourselves slipping to be able to catch
Yeah.
and to recognize because eventually if you stay in this is scientific, this is my experience. If you stay in that darkness too long and don't do anything to try to remedy the situation, it could be medicine, it could be therapy, it could be seeking out somebody, it could be faith, it could be a host of things. But long-term untreated anxiety and depression leads to bad decision making
Mhm.
and impulsive decision making. And then for our military community, well, we work hard, we play hard. And, Marines will say all the time, we was born in a bar. Yeah, we were born in a hospital too, but we hang out there every day.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, and I
That's a
stole that from Doc
fact.
Sandy, right? But too often alcohol
Yeah.
is our coping mechanism. I mean, even if they go to church, they'll get effed up on Saturday night and Friday night, and then after church, so it's not just about a faith thing because everybody's doing it,
Right.
but it would never be legal today
Yeah.
if it came out right now.
Yeah.
But for the reasons that be and all the things that I'm not going to get into, but there's a reason why it stays around. But it is if you are that person hurting, it is a poison that will make you feel and forget, and what you just said, everything you just explained, I think everyone feels like that to a certain degree. But when you don't switch it up or seek help outside, those bad decisions feel like good decisions, and it's lying to you. And then now that decision of suicide seems like a good thing to do, and you get to a point where you feel like you're doing people a favor, and that's just not the truth. That is the lie of it. And in a moment, and most of us are so comfortable and familiar with weapons, we're not afraid of guns. You
Yep.
know, we have them, we play with them. I used to get
Disassemble it, put it together.
and not encouraging this at all, but we used to get same nights that my wife would eventually hide the gun from me growing up in the Marine Corps was the same nights I would get drunk and take apart and put back together a gun with other Marines and just play around with weapons, playing around with weapons when I'm drunk, you know? So I say all that to say 100% agree with you, but you got to catch it right where you were at. You got to catch it, because if you don't, eventually you can get to a point where those you forget all of the resolve that you just described. They get there, and then in a moment of despair and hopelessness, and what do they call, I think it's disillusionment, when you lose all hope, that bad decision feels like a good decision. And you are so likely to die by a gun rather than, all the other methods and means. So lethal means is something. So if you're hurting, please do not don't play with a gun. Don't be near one, and don't be drinking.
No.
It's not going to make your day. Drinking, I don't do it. I'm 7 years clean off of it. Teach their own. Prohibition. People do what they want to do. I'm not a prohibitionist. However, I'm just saying that it's probably not going to make your bad day better.
Yep.
The likelihood of you making that bad decision and forgetting that voice that you had, it's going to be muted out by the noise of intoxication and that long-term depression. So I think it's fair, and I think it's true. And that is a hell of a powerful statement to say, that you get to God, I'm a big fan. And then be like, I wasn't ready for you to be here yet. Look what I needed you to actually do. Look what was going to happen.
Yeah.
Look what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Look what, you didn't know that you were going to have this daughter.
Yeah.
You didn't know that you were going to coach these kids. You didn't know that you were going to earn these things and get new shoes or whatever the thing is. You didn't know these things were coming, and you chose to make a permanent decision. And here we are, and I don't got a room for you right now because I didn't know you was coming to stay.
You weren't supposed to be here. Imagine if the guy was an old black man, like a old country black man. You know what I mean? Like, he seemed like, God, bruh, what? Not you. Oh, man, you? You just get stressed out.
You ain't supposed to be here. That people show way early.
Right. It's like, we ain't got your bed, we ain't got your room or nothing.
So if nothing else, you got to make sure you have a room in heaven or wherever else we're going one day. But no, it's funny, but it's so true. I honestly, I feel like one of the kids on the Brady Show. Like, I never thought about it like that.
Not for real.
It really is like that, and there's so much more to do. And it ties into what I say a lot of times. You never know who or what is coming down the road of life. And I mean, I can say many examples. That little girl I have, my COVID baby, wouldn't even exist if I would have carried out what I intended to. Literally, me sitting here with you right now, I'd have never known you. Those orders to Japan would have never came, because I'd have been dead. Like, my family would have just been back in the 757 living on without me. Would my kid, how much of that would have impacted him? And that's not the shame. It's just to be real about this situation, because actions have reactions.
Sure.
And a lot of people, I mean, I'd have probably crushed my kids, and suicide is happening in my family through the generations, and it has a generational trauma effect. Now, in our moment of despair, we don't see that there. That's why I'm so big on upstream prevention, and I'm so big on doing the things and embracing the things before we get to that point. It's more than stopping people from dying. It's helping them live a life worth living.
Right.
And that's what real prevention is. So we never get to that point. But if you're at that point, please just know, for people who have been on the other side of it, there's so much more to live for. You just can't see it right now, and it really feels like a good decision, but I promise you it's not. And if it was intended for it to be a good decision, you wouldn't have to do anything. It would just happen.
Right. Right. If it was meant for you, it'll come to you whether you wanted to or not.
I mean, I know Marines that have died on the PFT, and they're senior Marines.
Yeah.
And they're healthy as what do they say? Healthy as an ox, or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
And they die at PT.
That's a fact. That is a fact.
Yeah.
That is a fact.
And life is a gift. Doesn't feel like it all the time, though.
No, it don't. It don't.
It feels like sometimes that toy somebody got you for your kid that's annoying as fuck, and you just want them not to play with that shit.
Just take the batteries out.
Sometimes life can feel like that, but in the end, it was a gift.
Yeah.
It is a gift.
Somebody told me just recently, podcast actually, somebody didn't tell me. I heard it. Don't you love when you say somebody told me and nobody directly told you something?
Yeah. Same shit, though.
Yeah. 7 days in a week, right? All you need is 4 to have a good week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day ain't got to be great.
No.
You got 4 days out that week, you had a good week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to be intentional about the day, making it good.
Yeah.
But every day ain't going to be great.
No.
But if you had 4 solid ones, you don't want a playoff series in the NBA.
Hey, that's true. I mean, what do they say for, I'm not the biggest baseball, I'm not as knowledgeable, but it is like a 300 is the average to get in the Hall of Fame. A 300 is high.
Yeah.
If you bat a 300.
Good.
Yeah.
300.
Yeah. Out of 1,000.
Out of 1,000.
Yeah. That'll get you in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
If you shoot 40%, if you shoot 45% in basketball, you're a good player.
That's true.
We're not at 50%. Nobody ever asked you to be at 100%.
No, hell no.
We just actually, you know what I'm saying?
No, there'll be some good days.
Yeah.
But even a 90-some% free throw shooter misses every now and then. I saw the MVP the other night, brick hard as hell on a free throw. I'm like, you Shay, what happened, dog?
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It is, but you will miss all the shots you don't take, as Jordan said. You know? And that's real. And you leaving early, there's no more shots. And that might seem like a good decision to you right now, but I promise you, it's not. And it's not. It's just not. There's so much more to live for, and you don't see it now, but there are brighter days coming. There'll be some shitty ones too. Trust me on that.
There will be.
But that relationship that just ended, guess what? You really can. You got to grieve it. You got to feel the pain of it, but there's other relationships. There's other things. Goodness gracious, man. There's so many stories of people like in their 80s doing amazing things, and they never did nothing up to that point. I mean, look at something like Abraham Lincoln. Like, dude, that dude, if you look at his like rap sheet of victories and losses, that dude was like loss, and it was clinically depressed, and all the things, and president. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So
it's one day to win.
Yeah, and it could be that next day that you stay around for. It could be, or you help someone else win.
Right.
You know, and that's winning in itself.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love the perspectives, man. That's why I love doing this show that I make no money off of, is because you get to hear real talk from real people sharing their experience. And I mean, I'd have never known that until you shared it just now. That's why I stayed with that subject. I'd have never known that somebody like you was in that position where you was thinking about it too. People probably listened to this whole episode to that and went, hold up, him too? What?
Right.
And that's how much it can hit any of us and all of us. And being intentional matters. Waking up this morning and taking my medicine was intentional.
Right.
That's part of it. But also exercise and connecting with a good human. And I'm journaling in my little dollar store journal. Dollar. It looks expensive though, don't it?
Nah, it's nice.
It's from the dollar store, dog.
Is that nutbuck?
It's from the Dollar Tree in Chesapeake, Virginia. I always look at it and be like, that's where everything from Dollar Tree come from in Chesapeake.
Though.
You know, it's fake. But it's being intentional. And today so far it worked.
Right. It's a good day now.
Today so far it worked, and the sun is shining and no one's shooting at us. And bro, you're such a warrior, man.
I appreciate it.
I love you. I admire you, man, and I appreciate just everything you do. Like you said, it's not for me, it's for we, it's for them. And so much of what you do impacts generations and families. And my kids wouldn't be who they are. And I think I'm a good dad. But you made them a better person, even though I was a good dad, and so many others. And
it's
man,
a blessing to hear.
It is. You're a blessing. You're a blessing, and I'm glad you chose to stay around, because we needed you, and obviously baby girl needs you, and your bride needs you, and so many people that are going to be so positively impacted in the ATL, because I know you're a man of community, and you're going to go back and make things for your family, for people you don't even know yet. They don't even know who's coming. They don't even know who's coming.
That's the scary part. Seriousness, I do thank you for that.
I mean every bit of it, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, man.
Love
thank
always.
You. Love always. I love you, man. Any save rounds? You know how we say save rounds?
Go outside.
Go outside.
Go outside. Put the phone down, go outside.
Put the phone down and go outside. Hey, y'all. Hey, it's funny, too. I had to represent Ill Cooney today. YOLO. DJ Buck, I love you, man.
Shout out DJ Buck.
Shout out DJ Buck. You see that Japanese flag, American flag right there? Plus, I wanted to wear black so I didn't look fat because I've been getting a little husky.
Oh.
Out of regs.
Man.
But like my man Dwayne said the other day, he said, there ain't no regs no more, man. I said, you right about that.
That's true.
So if y'all recall me, you going to get a fat boy.
Pull out the tape for me.
Ooh, yeah, same. Hey, but yeah, get outside. Go connect to somebody. And like this shirt say, YOLO, you only live once. Oh, snap. That was a cool sign in 2012. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, aliens, I don't care who you are, people of the universe, everything. Thank y'all for tuning in and listening to me talk these things out in a real way with a real friend who's genuine. All right, I got to stop rhyming. I got dogged the other day. My friend Dwayne was like, why you always talking rhyming? I was like, I don't know. He's like, you sound like Jesse Jackson from 1988. Stop it.
Got EP coming out soon.
But seriously though, man, it's Poetry in Motion. Thank y'all for listening. As I always tell everybody, this show is sponsored by nobody, babe. Much love, make good choices. Get outside.
Peace.
And I'm going to walk to the thing and press stop. Stop.